A very good morning, team. A very slow week across the board with obviously us having NFP and CPI causing most pairs not to really move that interesting. Kind of moving up, down, up, down, up, down. EURUSD itself last night and yesterday has kind of like sold off back in towards the downside after reaching this area of supply. If we look at the lower time from the 15, I was talking yesterday about potential longs if we could break that supply zone and then push further in towards the upside. So we did indeed see that overall break of structure. Then we have to ask ourselves, okay, where's then the internal liquidity low? Internal liquidity low was situated over here. We saw a V-shape reversal in towards the highs, but yeah, just not really anything too clean. We just saw some liquidity grabs. This was also later in the day for myself, and then the market just headed back down. And then once we saw this rejection candle, I was like, okay, guys, let's just wait for CPI. There's nothing much really here. No real overall trend continuation, and I'm not expecting anything until CPI news obviously drops. We're currently just in a range. We're now at the lower bound of the overall range, and we obviously have the higher bound of the range. So let's just wait and see until we see a breakout. Because we have a low that is open over here at the bottom, but we also have a high that is open over here. So we're building up liquidity on both sides, and that's kind of like the moment that you really do not want to be in any positions on a EURUSD. So therefore, I would really say, okay, let's just wait and see what happens throughout CPI. Either you go for the low and then you can look for the long if we then see some kind of like internal trend shift start to occur, but it will all depend on how we react to this low, right? So wait for that to get taken out, then V-shape reversal and then change of character. That could be a sign to go long. If we do not see any reaction, just let it kind of like rip down lower towards where? Towards a daily point of liquidity, which is still open and which is this low over here. So ultimately what you're just waiting for is, again, the overall retracement phase to be fulfilled. And we always expect the retracement phase to be fulfilled at minimum into a point of daily liquidity, which is situated here. And only from that moment onwards can I look for longs on EURUSD. And that's why there's still some potential for some short-term downside there. Going into the dollar index, we can see that the dollar index is still relatively slow. Not too much. We've reacted to the overall daily area of supply that we have here. And since yesterday, we've again just been consolidating. We did indeed take out some internal liquidity, saw some initial push down, now push back up. But yeah, just expecting this to move sideways until CPI. I'm still favoring at some point just, again, the further overall downside. But look, the thing is, we have supply here in control, right? So let's see, maybe we take out this high and then we see the drop in towards the downside. That is, let's say, the highest probability play from kind of like the immediate bearish perspective. But we also have to understand that the yearly open is still open here, and that there is still, for example, if you look at the 4-hour time frame, liquidity resting here, liquidity resting here. So yeah, I mean, what you want to see is, for example, okay, we make the connection with supply, we see that liquidity taken, and then the 4-hour change of character, then okay, yeah, if we create supply, we can look for shorts. But it's not like, okay, I'm expecting just sell on top of the supply zone. That's not how it works for myself. So that's kind of like the two options that we have. Either we take out the, let's say, the high here and then get the change of character, we can look for shorts. Or once this breaks down once again, then you can look for shorts trading with the momentum and then take out this low. So you're kind of like now in a position where you just need to wait for either the low break here and then you can get into shorts, or you need to wait for the high break here and then get the bearish confirmation to then look for shorts. But if there's no bearish confirmation inside of the supply, then you just let it run kind of like higher towards the yearly overall open. On the other side, GBPUSD, guys, one of the pairs that I talked about with you has been moving, very interestingly. We retraced into this supply zone here at the top. That supply zone was nice because we saw the initial reaction down. We came back up to liquidate that initial reaction with the monthly open, and then we saw the 4-hour change of character being supply. We then retraced into that supply, and what did we see? We saw, hey, the bump in the road get taken out. Yesterday on the live stream, I talked about that, potentially pushing the market down lower. So yeah, for now, GU looks the best, kind of like just to head down lower. A lot cleaner than EURUSD, and obviously we have a target of this daily overall low here. So that's pretty much that for GBPUSD. Wouldn't be looking at longs at all. Main focus is just further shorting that, as I mentioned in yesterday's video as well. Then moving on into AUDUSD, NZDUSD. So AUDUSD has been retracing. I was looking for it to take out that overall weekly high. Just failed to take it out. So yeah, some liquidity building up there. Well, I mean, this retracement is just only good for AUDUSD, I guess. We have the impulse in towards the highs. Liquidity is internal, situated here and here. Once these lows get taken out, then we can look for longs on bullish confirmation. NZDUSD is selling off. Yesterday, I talked about that further upside. Didn't really come through. yeah, I mean, we have the monthly open here. Maybe it's just going to follow AUDUSD. We did see a break of structure here. So let's see, maybe we need to get this low and then the change of character to kind of like start pushing up higher. I still think that there is upside potential, but it will obviously depend also on what CPI does today. But ideally, to get a valid setup here, what do you want? You want the low sweep, V-shape reversal, change of character, long. As simple as that. Then we have USDCAD. What are we looking for there? So USDCAD, I was looking for more downside. I didn't really expect us to head up higher once again, but I guess the 4-hour just remained in control. We can see here the 4-hour demand. Then once again, now the 4-hour demand is in control. And as long as this 4-hour demand zone is in control, we cannot take any shorts. So again, just wait for another push in towards the highs. Then this becomes your demand zone. And then at some point in time, we can look for shorts again. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Not looking for longs, though we did obviously swipe this low here. So that can push the market up higher, for example, towards this point of daily liquidity. And then once that daily point of liquidity gets taken out, then you'll have some higher probability shorts on your hands. USDCHF still makes sense to head down lower in the near future. Yeah, this one is also a little bit messy. The good thing is that it already took out quite some liquidity here to the left, and it's starting to retrace now. Demand. So yeah, I mean, once demand breaks, then we can look for the short. As simple as that. USDJPY, is it interesting? Not really. Consolidating ahead of CPI, so just wait for this to kind of like do its thing. Can really go either way. And then of course we have gold. What are we seeing from gold, guys? Gold is retracing strong. It retraced back to the monthly open. Let's see. We have pretty much on the 1-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame is not too interesting. But yesterday we saw a massive drop. As I mentioned, we were building up a lot of trendline liquidity here. Again, market consolidating, trendline liquidity all taken out. So great drop in towards the downside, back down towards the monthly open. Yeah, what are we looking at here? We're looking at potential bounces or potential pushes back in towards the upside. Though the lows that are created here are not very favorable for longs as they're ascending. And ideally, what you want to see is kind of like the push down and then wait for the change of character to look for any potential longs at all. But that's just according to my own personal kind of like preference. So let's see what it does here. Again, I am favoring longs somewhere in the near future, but I just really don't like these lows here. So for me, I need to take those out. And then the 4-hour change of character, that could kind of like be the sign then to go long. But at the same time here, we didn't even break 4-hour market structure. It's more just kind of like a liquidity sweep, right? Or did we? Well, we closed above. Did we close above? Yeah, we did close above. But again, it's more of a liquidity sweep than an actual break of structure. It's like ascending corrective sweep of this high and then just boom, sell off. So yeah, you want to see another drop in towards the downside. And then at some point in time, the order flow will continue pushing us down. Or if we see the break up, then we can look for the longs again. But I'm personally not going to long this just yet. Not in my plan due to the equal ascending lows there. So that's that. Then some other interesting opportunities that could arise. NZDCHF retrace back down again in towards demand. Let's see if this can start giving us some bullish momentum. For now, it's a very choppy week across the board because if we look at where we're currently trading, it's just kind of like we go down, we go back up, we consolidate, we go back down, we consolidate. So the market is relatively flat and just waiting for CPI, in my opinion. AUDUSD did make a nice retracement and it's coming back down towards this liquidity low. If that takes that out, then we can look for some longs potentially in the near future again. So keep an eye on kind of like those pairs once bullish momentum starts returning. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day. Any questions, make sure to let me know inside Discord. And just wish you all a fantastic weekend as well. Thanks.